Well, President Trump outlined on Sunday what he described as a potential timeline for the U.S. conflict in Iran.
As CNN's Julia Benbrook explains, it's giving the suggestion it may extend for several weeks.
Well, we'll start with the timeline here because President Donald Trump has given several different potential timeframes, saying anything from 2 days to through the week to most recently in an interview with the New York Times saying 4 to 6 weeks is how long this could take place. So lots of questions still here. And this is a president who likes to talk. We often see him on Air Force One coming back, having 30, 40-minute conversations with reporters or speaking with them as he walks into the White House. That did not happen tonight. He returned from his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. That is where he monitored the joint U.S.-Israel strikes against Iran. And when he came back, reporters had lots of questions for him, and he chose not to engage with that. Instead, he's had these social media posts. He had that 8-minute video where he announced that these strikes had taken place. He had a post where he told the world that Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah, had been killed. He has been warning Iran not to retaliate, not to take this further because the United States will only strike back harder. And then he's had these videos that have been more prepared, more scripted. And in one of those recently, he said that this was going to continue at full force, the combat efforts, until the goal was achieved here, but he didn't really go into details on exactly what that was. He did say our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. And as far as hearing from Trump publicly soon, I was taking a look at his schedule tomorrow. It doesn't seem like there's going to be this option for just repeated reporter questions where they can build on each other and we can learn more. But we do expect to hear from top officials for the first time. The Pentagon is holding a briefing at 8 a.m. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, he'll be a part of that. And one topic that could come up, some reporting from our colleagues here at CNN showed that Pentagon briefers acknowledged when briefing congressional staff that Iran did not have plans to strike U.S. bases and forces in the Middle East unless Israel struck Iran first. And that statement does contradict some things that we have heard from this administration when they said that Tehran posed an imminent threat here.
Congressional leaders are looking for more information about strikes on Iran, and they're set to hear from the Trump administration as soon as today. Efforts started Saturday to set up briefings as lawmakers from both the House and the Senate demand a vote on measures to limit Trump's war powers. The resolutions had been drawn up before this weekend's attacks. And the Board of Governors for the United Nations Nuclear Watchdog will convene a special meeting later today. Russia, a major ally of Iran, requested the meeting to discuss the weekend strikes that killed its supreme leader. Last week, the IAEA's Director General said Iran still had most of its nuclear materials, despite President Trump's claim that a strike last June wiped it out. And the U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran are expected to have an impact on oil prices because Iran has closed the Strait of Hormuz, a body of water that sees 20% of the world's oil supply. Oil futures also surged in the first trade since the attacks began over the weekend. Analysts say gas prices could rise more than 25 cents a gallon because of the Mideast conflict.
All right, so I'm keeping a close eye on those oil futures, which are spiking, but they aren't having as much of an impact yet on the gas prices. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Taking a look first off at the averages. National average, $2.95. That's actually down by 4 cents since Friday. As for the Lone Star State, $2.55, down by 3 cents since Friday. And while we usually do better here in the Coastal Bend, look at Corpus Christi's average, $2.55 there. That's also down by about 5 cents since Friday. Cheapest price I was able to find here in Corpus Christi proper. It looks like all of the reporting stations in Flower Bluff are reporting this $2.52. Nowhere else in the Coastal Bend or in Corpus Christi, I should say, is cheaper. As for Portland Friends, $2.53 over the Murphy USA next to Walmart. That was actually updated just about half an hour ago. So good news there. And if you're out there on the island, looks like your prices did come down a little bit. Cheapest price is sitting at $2.62 at all of the stations except for one. and that station is in Port A. As always, you can find cheaper prices than these guys. Might want to stop and fill up while you can, especially in preparation of them potentially going up. I have all these prices posted too on our website, christv.com.